good way to stay warm, no?
Yeah, what I do is I'm a hip-hop dancer, right?
Yeah.
Hip-hop first.
Okay, today is Sunday, January the 3rd. I live in downtown Toronto, right behind me. CN Towers, lost in the clouds. It's a little damp. The snow has turned to slight rain. It's -1 degree. The game plan today is just to get lost, see who we can chat with, go for a 2 to 3 hour walk. I'm not trying to get my feet wet the first 3 minutes of this video. Now, a couple months ago, this was all homeless camps. So hundreds of homeless people were sleeping under here. The city came in with bulldozers and literally pushed them out. So this whole camp, homeless camp, just simply moved from this location to another, which is on Queen Street, Trinity Park, and we'll walk past there later on today. Over here we have an outdoor living room. I'm assuming during the summer months or spring months, maybe homeless people would meet up over here to maybe play cards. I don't think it's getting too much use. I could be wrong. Now my options are to walk all the way back and get wet, or to get my 42-year-old out of shape, overweight ass over this little fence. As I jumped over, my ear pod and my left ear came out. I'm back. I'm alive. I barely made it. Ear pods in ear. No scratches, no rips, no dents. Not yet. Fort York, National Historic Site. I'll read from the Wikipedia page. Fort York is an early 19th century military fortification in the Fort York neighborhood of Toronto, Ontario. The fort was used by the British Army and the Canadian military for its garrisons and to defend the entrance of the Toronto harbor. The fort features historic buildings within them, including 2 block houses. The fort forms a part of Fort York National History Site, a 16.6 hectare, 41-acre site that includes the fort, garrison commons, military cemeteries, and a visitor center. There's a canoe randomly sitting on the sidewalk. Now, all summer, this street was closed off because they just refurbished or renovated this bridge. CN Towers in the back, although from here you can't see that much. We'll get closer. Here's a GO train coming. This is our CN rail. So this train will go everywhere from 1 hour away to Vancouver. Go for a short trip or a long one. Double decker. These are a bunch of little retail stores. You rent month to month. Most of the time it's like the entry to retail. Pre-COVID, if you're thinking about opening a location and investing a lot of money, you might want to try a small location like this for a month or 2. See how you like it. No long-term commitment. This is an art gallery. In the back there's alcohol, little outdoor patio, although once again we're in lockdown, so everything's closed. COVID and these lockdowns have really hit Toronto very hard. Stores are closed, store is closed, restaurant is closed. Do what moves you. Closed, closed, closed. A lot of these businesses have been here a long time, but current government restrictions and lockdowns for small businesses have made it simply impossible to remain open. Moving sale, moving sale. Scared to see what the city is going to look like in a year's time. It's an old church from 1885. See what it says. Lockdown as of November 23rd. The church is closed to public masses. That was St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church on Bathurst. So currently, let's go through this. Small mom and pop shops are closed. Restaurants are closed unless you're taking it out. Churches are closed. Costco's open. Gyms are closed. Walmart's open. Churches are closed. Tobogganing is closed. Ice rinks are closed. Schools are open. It's not working. We know it's not working because the COVID numbers continue to go up. Up and up and up. That's the last time I'll mention COVID in today's walk. Let's take a look. The properties. A little house on Bathurst, way down Bathurst, $839,000. Just over $500,000. Rent, you want to rent a property downtown Toronto, $3,000 for a 1-bedroom and 1 bathroom. Another shop has fallen due to this current virus. These homes have been like this for a long, long time. You think somebody would jump in and invest the money required to either fix the homes or build something nicer. But at least the last 10 years, those have sat like this. We're currently in what is known as Graffiti Alley. It runs parallel to Queen Street West. It's a good 15-20 minute walk. We won't do it all. I'm not too into graffiti, but I'll show you around. Then I'll jump back out, make a right, and head to the main street. These are homes and retail stores. Normally you'll see a bunch of kids here with their selfie sticks taking Instagram photos. The weather's a little wet. It's the Love Bot and the Crack Lizard. Our head office used to be in this alley about 4 years ago. And I don't want you to underestimate how beautiful some of these homes are based on what you're seeing now. There are huge homes with exotic cars on the other side. They don't want to make this look too fancy because theft will be increased. So they make it look shitty back here so nobody messes with them. But if we walk down this street, you would see some beautiful homes. This is a little bit of a gritty neighborhood due to the drug use, homelessness. But the properties, the residential properties, are very, very expensive, and retail rent is very expensive as well. For those that don't know, our Toronto Blue Jays, the name is based off a very famous bird that you'll see in the spring and summer around Toronto, the Blue Jay. See what I mean? Like, look at this, and then look at the G-Wagon. You would not think these type of cars would be coming with this type of property. So when we get to the end, we make a right. We'll be near Trinity Park, and that's the new homeless camp, where earlier I showed you they were all pushed out by government and police. They simply moved to a different park. And they're actually now much more in the open than they were under the bridge. Under the bridge you have shelter because at least the rain is not going to hit you, the snow. Here they're wide in the open, simply in canvas tents.
Boys and girls, everybody, come one, come all. Come big, come small. That's the sip from Ringling Brothers. There you go, right?
As you can see, the homelessness here is a real problem. Now, when I travel to other countries around the world and I show case slums, favelas, homeless people, I often get the comment like, why are you only showing the bad parts of a certain city? The truth is, every city I've ever visited in the world has a homeless problem. So it's not that I'm trying to show the bad side of any city. I'm showing the reality of what I see when I travel. And this is the reality of downtown Toronto. This is what a park looks like in downtown Toronto. And you'll see it gets a lot worse than this. This is just the beginning. Over here you'll see a lot more. I'm not sure how friendly people will be today, but I'll try to talk to some people living in these tents. In the summer, it is a lot busier, a lot more people living here. When the snow hits, people find better options, but for those that don't have other options, this is where they lay their head at night. So only a 1-minute walk away from the homeless camp is a playground. And man, it feels extra special to see some kids playing. In 2020, kids weren't allowed to be kids. Kids are locked down. Simple playing at the park is illegal. Tobogganing is illegal. Putting on some ice skates and skating in a local park is illegal. Currently in Toronto, so they're breaking the law. And I love it. As a father, it makes me feel real sad to know that my kids are locked down. And they keep asking me, Dad, when is this lockdown going to be complete? When can I see my friends? When can I go to the park? I'm not sure the meaning of this art installation, but I'll tell you what it means to me. It means like any single one of us, any race, any age, gender, could fall victim to poverty and homelessness and mental issues at any given time. So I'm hoping that these people that are currently living in this type of predicament, it's a temporary thing and they find a way to make their life better. But that's what I read when I see this type of art. You know, you could have a beard, you could be darker skinned, you could be highly educated or have no education at all. Could be white, Asian, black, good teeth, bad teeth, dark hair, light hair. It genuinely could happen to anyone at any time. I believe these are little homes that somebody built for the people to stay out of the cold. My blue denim prayer. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. My denims are so tight, they're going to bust. So I'm begging you, Lord, with tears in my eyes, don't let it happen in front of the guys. I'll see if I can find anyone that wants to talk. Right now, I don't see anybody around. Squash racket or tennis racket, possibly a leg, if anyone's looking for a right leg. There's rest in peace, Brandon. Hello, is anyone here? Anyone in the tent? Hello? What is this? Welcome to New Bruce Lee City.
Yeah, New Bruce Lee City.
So talk to me, why did we name it Bruce Lee City?
Well, we found a poster of Bruce Lee. It's long been stolen. And we just said, I just looked at my buddy and I said, should we name it Bruce Lee Town? So we named it Bruce Lee Town first, and then we changed to a city, and then we can change to New Bruce Lee City. We're just trying to have fun out here.
And the nunchucks, who uses them?
No one.
Just a piece of art?
Yeah, just a piece of art, yeah.
I can see somebody at night just flipping around and doing something.
Those are homemade nunchucks.
How long have you been here?
A couple months now. I've been in and out of different parks. This park I find is the safest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoy it here.
When you say safe from other people or safe from police or safe from everybody?
It's a nice neighborhood, so it's yeah, that alone helps. Yeah.
And everybody, I seem like it all happened almost at the same time. I bring my kids here to play.
Okay, cool.
And I've noticed over the course of the last summer that there's been a lot more homelessness here.
Well, not necessarily.
Maybe tents or visible camping sites.
Well, I think due to COVID, you'll see a lot more homeless people. People that will become homeless.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think the numbers are going to balance because of fentanyl. Fentanyl is killing a lot of us off out here. It's very sad. And I had a couple buddies I had a buddy die 4 days ago. Wow. Just down there, we have a memorial. He died inside one of these boxes. And we painted it all red. So if you were to see that up at the front,
right?
Yeah, that's his name is Bleaks.
I've seen a few. I actually saw on your couch there.
Yes.
There is a rest in peace. And as I was walking, I saw quite a few.
Yeah, that was Brandon died about a month ago now, and he helped me carry this big stupid couch here, and and then that night he died. That night he died from fentanyl overdose.
I know 3 people that have died from fentanyl.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Like young kids are starting to do it now, and yeah, it's only gonna get worse. Someone handed me some paints one day, and you'll see, like, I'm the only one that has a painted box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? It's like decorate your house, right? Exactly. Is there any artist that you look up to?
Yep. What's his name? Basquiat. What's his name?
Basquiat. Yeah.
Basquiat. Yeah. I love him. I love his story.
I love his work as well.
Yeah, and just his come up was an amazing story. Yeah.
I think a lot of the great artists, they all have a story to them, and that's what makes their art so good.
Yeah. Well, and I also appreciate African art.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really into.
It has the look. It's like a folk art type.
Yeah.
Now, what do you paint? You don't sell anything. You just you do it.
I've never really thought about it. But you know, who knows? Maybe one day that it'll turn out to that. There's a lot of great artists out in this.
But I mean, you have a story.
Yes.
So it's not just the art, right? People buy and invest money for the story itself.
True. Yeah. Since they wrote an article on me online too, on Toronto on blogto.com.
Yeah.
You can check it out. It says meet the mayor of Bruce Lee City.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And how do you get anointed the mayor of Bruce Lee City?
Well, before there was no tents here, and then I set the first tent up, and so as you know, when you set the first tent up, you're like kind of the leader of the family, and like, you know, the lead, and I've been a part of these little families. It's like throughout the summer and throughout the spring, and it didn't work out so well for me, so I tried to start my own. And it went well for a long time, and now they've disbanded me a little bit now. Yeah, so it was fun while they lasted. They didn't realize. I don't think they didn't realize really what kind of like family I was trying to make here.
Right.
But it's okay.
But I mean, you're spending a lot of time with the same people every day, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
it is somewhat of a family.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. The guys down south, there's a mayor down there too. So me and him, we work well together. Whenever like there's a conflict or something like that, we need to like ask someone nicely to leave the park as well.
Right.
Just because you know, they've broken some unspoken rules, like trying to go into people's tents.
Right.
We give them a couple of chances, but some people just don't get it, and we ask them nicely to leave, just out of respect, mostly for the females in the park too.
Right.
We've equipped them all with air horns and pepper spray as well. That was one of the first duties that we did. So we found that important, yeah.
And do you depend on each other? Like if you need something, can you knock on someone else's door and?
Oh, like yeah, we have a supply tent as well down there.
Right.
So everyone's pretty stocked with food.
Who supplies the supply tent?
Well, we got so every morning there's a group called the ESN, I think, and they're a volunteer group that comes by every single morning since the summer, and they give us Gatorades, trail mix, granola bars. So we have a snack to start. And then sometimes there'll be like church groups that come out and they'll give us hot meals. The hot meals are always nice. And then just kind of periodically, people will just randomly make care packages, and they'll just drop it off. Yeah, some will be more timid and just leave it on the bench. Like you see some clothes over there on the bench.
Right.
They were a little bit timid to come up to give it to us.
And other people will come in.
Yeah,
drop
or
it
we
right
weren't
too.
here, right? Like a lot of my tents now are abandoned, unfortunately. So I'm slowly dismantling it. As you see, that all this garbage here was one person's tent.
This is where you live, though.
Yeah. They left me with all this garbage, so.
Okay.
Right? So it's a lot of work to be the mayor.
Right. Has to be cleaned up.
Well, and one thing I promised myself is that I'm going to come to this park the way it was set. I'm not going to leave until every piece of garbage is gone. I will not leave. It's my duty. And so everything you see here is pretty much going to go back in the trash. Everything you see here was from the trash.
In these tents, do people live in them right now?
A couple people, yes. Yeah,
It must be extremely cold in the winter.
Yes, but we've come up with a bunch of solutions. One person has an insulated tarp, so it's a blanket in between two tarps. A lot of times we're shoving styrofoam underneath the tarps and making insulation. And then a lot of times people are getting them off the ground and putting them on skids.
Do you become how long have you been living outside? Does your body become more accustomed to the cold?
Yes, so yeah, oh my gosh. The first week of living outside, of not being inside of a building, is very, very tough.
How long ago was that?
A couple months ago, like even before the cold.
Okay.
But like it was tough just to be out here for a week. And then my body's adapted now. And it's just the only things that really bother you are your fingers and your toes. That's when you if your fingers are cold and your toes are cold, you're immobile. And but we again, a lot of the donators give us hand warmers and feet warmers. Yeah.
Do regular people come and bother you, or
no?
Beside me bothering you right now?
We've had a few people come in like I can remember a situation where a guy come in and he was looking through, kind of getting too close to our tents.
Yeah.
And that's when I get on guard.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna find out who you are. Like I saw you from like a kilometer away.
Right.
And I'm just like, I need to get on that because I saw you walking through and I needed to know who you are.
Right.
I know her very well. And she knows me very well. So like anyone who walks through, it's kind of like if someone knocks on your door, they say, "Hi, how are you?" Right? And the person responds, "Hi, how are you?" That's how you greet somebody.
Right.
So if someone's not saying, "Hi, how are you?" back to me, I feel a bit offended.
For sure.
When they're walking through like my home, even though this is a public park.
Right.
It's a funny situation.
This corner of this public park is yours. There's no question.
I claimed it and I own it, and And whether anyone believes it or not, I took care of these people. I looked after them in what almost like a father type figure. Yeah, I called myself, like, secretly. I wouldn't tell them because it would hurt. Their feelings would get hurt. But I call myself daddy. Right? I'm the daddy of the park, or daddy of this section at least.
What would you say the average age of these people?
You get a lot of people like the average age I'm finding in the homeless like community is around my age group, so I'm 32, and then it gets like to 50s and 60s.
What about the youngest?
The youngest is 20s, 20.
Must be tough in the winter. Do you find there's more tents and more people sleeping here in the summer, and then in the winter they find alternative ways to?
Yeah, of course. Well, there's a company called Streets to Homes, and they've been coming through and. They're giving people an option of staying in a hotel for a year lease. So they're paying a year for your hotel, meals and everything included. But you got to do check-in times. And unfortunately, again, a lot of my friends have gone to these hotels and locked themselves in their hotel rooms and have died from fentanyl overdose. And so for me, it's just too much to go to these hotels knowing that I have a friend die. Yeah, it's like. So I don't know. I don't know what purpose I'm out here for. I'm trying to still figure that out.
Is that the hardest part?
Yes.
Seeing the deaths? And
yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Every I can survive. We can survive through everything except for this fentanyl. This thing is crazy, man.
Can you tell me about who built these homes?
His name is Khalil. I forget his last name. And 27-year-old young man, and just a really fantastic guy. Just I don't know, like I believe his story is that he got fired from his job or left his job because of COVID, and he thought, man, what way can I give back to people are giving us constantly, and like we get too much toothpaste, we get too many socks, right? So people are just constantly donating the same things, and then this guy came up with this idea, tiny homes. So it's pretty impressive. So it's insulated. Is it just one room? Yes, it's just one room, and there's just one stud here, and so like it's not like it's well built. But there's lights? No, electricity, but I mean you have a light. Yes, okay. Yeah, exactly. We have light sources. We use a lot of flashlights, a lot of string battery lights, and it's whatever we can for lights. But there's no heat source inside. So the way you heat it is through your own body heat. Right. So and closing the door. Yeah, close the door, and your own body heat will heat it up quite fast. Yeah. So you're saying in the coldest day, I guess we haven't felt the coldest day yet, but have not. Thus far it's kept you warm. He claims that it'll protect us from -20, but I think I can reinforce it even from if we go lower than that. Do you think if this was not possible, if you didn't have this right now, you'd be sleeping in a tent? Yeah, I'd be fine. Wow. I'd be fine. But I burned down 2 of my tents too not too long ago by mistake. By putting a fire? No, with the candles. Someone left candles on in my tent, and I came back and it was like just in flames, and all of a sudden engulfed, and I lost a lot of things. Look at this. They're our friends too. Yeah, I've noticed this winter a lot more squirrels. Yeah. Have you seen the white albino squirrel? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've seen it for years as well. Yeah, my buddy can make it jump up on his leg. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a couple years. Yeah, the squirrels are quite happy with us here. We treat them very nice. And what about this? Where did you find this? Did it find you? Or? Oh yeah, Matilda. Sorry, the name? I named her Matilda. Matilda, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I dress her up all the time. I just for fun. And you know what? Actually, the most important thing Matilda does is she's my security guard. Right. Because anytime anyone walks up to this, they think it's somebody, and then they get freaked out it's a mannequin, and then they have to go. It works every time like a charm. Matilda protects my shit. Yeah, I read the prayer earlier when I stumbled upon. A lot of times I go out bidding. I call it garbage bidding. Right. And I go through whatever people leave on the side of the road. And so, it's like I said, everything you see is found on the side of the road. The treasure chest of Matilda, the couch, the artwork, paintings. Mexican, sombrero hat. Sombrero hat, yeah, exactly. Where are you from initially? Are you from Toronto? I'm from Scarborough. Right. Yeah. I grew up. I spoke to a few other people here, and it seemed like they were all from the outskirts of, like, not Toronto. They came from. Yeah. Not very many people are born and raised here. There's a couple dudes out here, though. Yeah. Yeah. What about resources for homeless people? Do you think there's enough? How can the average person come and help? Yes and no, but for somebody that doesn't know what to do out here, it sucks. There's always meals provided. Like, there's a list. I know if you go to certain places, government offices, there's lists of places you can have meals, and the shelter system is is okay, but it's flawed.
Right.
Especially from there's enough male shelters, males, but like also like the numbers from female to male on the street. Well, like they're drastically different, right? There's way less females out here, and they have it harder, man. They have it way harder.
Do the females mostly have boyfriends or men that they're with?
Yes.
It's very difficult for them to survive alone.
Well,
you know?
man, they actually all females out here, whether they have a boyfriend or not, they do survive independently. They're tough. They are tough girls. And a lot of times we're looking out for them. We're always looking out for them.
But for example, like beside the cold, the winter, what is the biggest problem that you face living here?
The biggest problem is, I don't know. I couldn't.
Like for a female living here, her biggest problem is aggression.
Predators.
From
sure.
predators, right?
Yeah, sure. But for general, like worrisome, yeah, okay. Maybe some violence. That would be. But like again, you shouldn't be out here if you're fearing violence.
But when you go to bed at night and you close your door,
yeah.
Is there any fear? Are you scared something's going to happen throughout the night?
There's a back thought that someone's going to lock the door and light me up on fire, right? But also, like, I keep my name good on the streets, and I don't, you know,
Has anything like that happened?
No, not towards me or my people. No violence has ever happened here.
How long do you think this is going to be like this?
I believe it won't last more than a month.
And then what will the next step be? I guess you'll figure it out when.
So there's like certain steps that the government has to take. They have to first. They can't just like bulldoze us out. They have to come respectfully and give us an option for housing. So I'm assuming that they're going to get the streets to homes to come in and try to convince us to take the hotels, and then and then they'll they're already the city. So the city comes every single morning during the week, and that's why I leave the garbage right here because we've been working really well with the city to get stuff out, right? And so they've been going from tent to tent to figure out who's been there and who's not been there. So any abandoned tents they've been taking down themselves as well. So the city is like slowly trying to just get us out.
I'll tell you what I notice.
Yeah.
The average person that walks by with a dog or a child, it's not phasing them. It's not like
not at all.
They're afraid to walk past, right?
That's because we're in a city that likes to ignore each other.
Yeah.
Right. So it's our job.
And that's not what we're famous for. Canadians are known to be polite and talkative, right?
Yeah, so for the most part, yeah. Like even the people that come up and donate clothes to us, they're kind of just like standoffish, right? I mean, COVID didn't help, but the truth is, before COVID, they were scared of me still.
Right.
And look at me. I'm not a very intimidating type guy.
Not at all.
No, exactly.
I think the average person can learn a lot from you and from your story.
Thank you very much. I really.
That's why I'm
that.
here.
Yeah.
I don't get paid to do this at all. Right?
Yeah.
I enjoy this.
Yeah. No, this is. I support you, brother.
Maybe you can tell me, like, what is like a summary of what do? You wake up in the morning at what time?
I could wake up in the morning from 7 in the morning. I prefer to wake up at 7 in the morning before everybody,
right.
Because by the time everyone will have left a mess everywhere, so I'll start sweeping up the mess, shoveling some snow. I know I shovel the grass, so sweeping up mess, and then from there I'll have to clear my mind a little bit and smoke a joint, and then do a little bit of art because art just needs to. Right, and it just kind of takes away like the stress of all this shit.
Yeah.
And then I'll go down and check if everybody's okay. I'll go from tent to tent to tent, especially if I have specifically. So I know somebody that uses fentanyl. I will check up on them every so often because that's how we lost our friend Bleeker 5 days ago.
But did you come across him?
No, one of my other buddies
Somebody
came
did.
across him, but when I showed up there. Yeah, there was a lot of paramedics and everybody, and none of the paramedics were really moving, and we saw his body, and it was just, it was definitely just like horrifying. See, because they get more action down there because they're more at the beginning of the park, so yeah, like it's more lively there now. Like I said, like you can see, it's not lively at all here.
That's good though, no?
Yeah, for me,
you don't really want it too lively.
Yeah, exactly.
And what time do you call it a day? What time do you lock yourself in?
Well,
your house?
then at nighttime, nighttime past midnight, I'll start do my garbage bidding thing.
Yeah.
See what I can find. I become somewhat of a trader, kind of barter, and yeah, just honestly, I used to have a good job and all this, but like I lost my family and I got depressed. So this is my distraction, really.
Is this a temporary distraction?
Yes, temporary distraction. Yeah. Like I was just like I didn't think I was going to come out of this like bad depression, but I'm finally feeling a little bit more alive since like I've noticed when I was sick for a couple of days and I went to the hospital. And when I came back, there was like everybody was like concerned, and like I'm just like, wow, it kind of worked. You know, I made a family. I made this outdoor family.
You might not have realized your family until you leave for a few days.
They count on. They count on me.
Right. I could see that already.
Yeah.
I've only been here for a few minutes.
I don't even know what they count on me for.
Yeah.
Like emotional support. Or like sometimes I don't have anything to give to them.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't know what it is, man. They count on me to be here.
And what's your goal?
My goal is to...
Do you have a long-term goal, a short-term goal, or just day by day and see?
You know what? Seriously, it's been day by day.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be here this long even. Yeah, because I would tend to go back to a shelter, but now that I have more freedom, I have my life back.
Don't have to check in at a certain time.
Yeah, it's the check-ins.
It's dangerous and more dangerous. No.
Yeah, and you get caught up and you get stuck in the shelter system.
Right.
And then once you're stuck in the shelter system, now you're part of some drama kind of like thing, and it can get messy, it can get violent.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you show me around a little bit?
Somewhat.
Like, what is the chest? Just to sit here, or?
Yeah, it's just actually just full of food. It's full of some
that's
food.
cool.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere to cook? I don't notice any fireplace or barbecue or anything like that.
I don't have one. There's a couple other people that do have some barbecues. I'd rather not go over there right now.
Yeah.
Just because, there's some people that don't want to be filmed.
No, I know. I went and bothered them earlier.
Yeah.
But this is your little art studio here.
Yeah, sure.
You tell me what I can get you in the next couple days that will help.
Oh, really?
And I'll drop it by, no question.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
If it's art supplies, food, you tell me what you want.
Any paints, batteries.
What about could you use a little barbecue?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I got
that
it.
Would be super awesome.
Anything I can do, you tell me, and
Oh, really?
I'm down.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm here to help.
What's your name again?
Chris.
Chris, I'm Jade Letter, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey.
You helped me out with my dog the other day.
I did?
Yeah, and she came over and stole some sandwiches, so I wanted to say thank you so much and give you some gift cards.
How did I help your dad?
My dog.
Oh, your dog.
Yeah,
your dog.
my
I
dog.
remember you.
Yeah.
Right on, guys.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See, those are some people that weren't afraid.
Right,
Yeah,
I love it.
Look at that.
Man, we're all human. We all ups and downs, but you definitely have the most decorated wood box here.
See, the problem is I look after everybody else's shit.
Yeah.
That I don't have. That I'm so behind on cleaning my own shit. Right?
What's the no sleep gang?
Yeah, no sleep gang. Sometimes I know you were asking about what my day was like. Sometimes we don't sleep.
Right.
Yeah, so we call ourselves the no sleep gang. Yeah.
Only rule allowed inside.
Yeah. So this is funny story.
No, what does it say?
So I said,
no
rule,
dudes.
No dudes allowed inside because I don't want their body heat to be in there with me.
Right.
But so I did that specifically for one guy. Actually, the guy that passed away. His name is Bleeker, and because he liked to hang out in my tent so much, he was like the big brother that I didn't want sometimes, but I loved him so much, and so I made that rule up so he wouldn't go inside my box. And this thing is so funny, man. That was the only person I didn't want in my box, and now it's like the only person I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's ironic. Yeah. So I've encouraged people to tag I used to have a tendency to vandalize me.
Right.
So I wanted people to come by and
to leave their mark.
Yeah. So one person did, and they were spraying the white squirrel, all over.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I added the little bong and the little spliff.
And now I see the Beastie Boys that we were talking about.
What's the time? It's time to get ill. And then sometimes I say, what's the time? It's time to drink ale. Yeah. No, there's 3 definitions to each weapon.
Okay.
Right? So I'll give you an example. A knife cuts, slices, and stabs. A staff is a walking stick, is some sort of weapon, and then it can also be a variety of different things, like a hat holder.
A hat holder, a picker-upper.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like I've been practicing all year.
Oh, you need a little bit more practice.
Yeah, right. That's right.
We all do.
You're not supposed to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just pick it up and be happy.
Now, have you ever had to use a staff?
I've threatened people, yes.
Yeah.
But I'll go around them. I won't quite hit them. I just want to get because this distance.
Yeah.
Right. And then no matter what your size is, you're going to be backing up.
Yeah.
I can hit a knife out of your hand, but mostly I would never hit someone in the head because that kills them.
Right.
There's an old. They used to teach in China. They used to teach kids how to pop kneecaps out. So there was babies learning how to pop
the back of the knee.
Yeah, so once your kneecaps popped out, you're on the ground.
Yeah.
That's all I would do, really. But I would never want to harm anybody. But yeah, I'm also a hip hop dancer. That's my main thing. Right? But I need some hip hop music or
Yeah,
anything.
I can't help you.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
Appreciate your time. I don't
Yeah.
want to take up any more of your
No,
time.
all right, that's all right.
Now, I tried talking to a bunch of people here. Not everyone's open to talking, and I don't blame them. They're in a, first of all, they're in a cold environment, a tough situation. And hey, man, I'm a stranger walking in off the street asking questions. So, presume if I show up more often and they become more familiar with my face, they'll be more open to talking. Yeah. Do you mind if I record?
No, the whole reason why it was left as a monument for people to see.
Right, I'm not here to insult anyone. I don't want to upset anyone.
Put down us as
no.
people living in the park or anything?
No, not at all. I have the utmost respect for everyone.
Thanks, buddy.
And this just happened a couple days ago, he said.
Yes.
What was his name, sorry?
Sean Joseph Curls. Ensure that it can be used for someone else to live in.
Right.
And if that's not the case, she wants it in her backyard.
And how long was he living here?
He was here for, on this end of the park, just a couple of months.
Is this something that happens often? I guess so. Fentanyl and overdoses, yes, the gentleman was saying. Mm-hmm. How old was he?
He was 35, I think. In his 30s, mid-30s.
Incredible. I'm 42, so fentanyl, I know 3 people that have passed away on fentanyl. And money, and the amount of money you have in your bank account doesn't dictate who dies from this
no, for sure.
problem, because this is a problem the world is facing. He might have been a regular homeless man on the street to the average person, but to this community, he was one of them. I don't know him. Never met him. Don't know what he looks like. Still a very sad story. It's more than a story. This is a reality.
All might be taken.
On my arm. On my arm.
No drinking on me.
Trinity Bellwoods Park on Queen Street West in the heart of downtown Toronto. It's getting cold, it's getting late, it's getting dark. I'll have to continue my walk around the city of Toronto in future days. I appreciate you joining me on today's adventure. A lot more to come. This is a big city, lots to see, lots of people to talk to. Talk again soon. Happy New Year.
And then she dropped by today to give.
Goodbye.